Are you ready? Hey there, you are listening to Thynktank Millionaire Podcast, where on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you get an unfiltered, raw, and authentic conversation about the challenges of being an entrepreneur and tips and tricks on how you can scale your business to the next level. If you are looking to scale your business, then get ready to buckle up. Introducing our host, Alexa D'Agostino.
Welcome to Thynktank Millionaire Podcast, a podcast where you have real entrepreneurs talking about real problems and giving real solutions to fix them and help you scale your business to the next level. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexa D'Agostino. I am your host of Millionaire Podcast. Today, we're going to discuss how to build a sales funnel that actually works. Today, I have my business partner and friend, Cynthia, and I'm so excited to talk about this topic because, we build funnels literally every day. If we look at our team, we have 8 ClickFunnels 2 awards. So clearly, we're doing something right in our team. But there's a lot of elements to a sales funnel. I've heard so many times, I'm sure you have, Cynthia, as well. Oh, all I need is a sales funnel and I'm going to become a millionaire. And that's not how it works at all. And it's so funny when I hear that, because I actually had a business proposal and a business partner at the time, like a year ago, that was like, Alexa, we need a sales funnel. I heard that will sell our product and we'll get $1 million really quick. And I'm like, you realize that there are literally like 750 funnels, not people, funnels. And of the 750 funnels that have made $1 million, there's maybe 300-400 people that have figured out how to do it. That's it in the world. And we have 8 of those 750, right? So it's there's not many people who have figured this out. So what do you think? When you think of a sales funnel, what's the first thing that comes to your mind of making a funnel successful?
So I always say, I feel like one mistake most entrepreneurs make is they think a sales funnel is a website, right? They interchange it. So that's it's probably one of the most popular sales funnel mistakes I've seen, right? So they start to, and I always say the difference between a sales funnel and a website is a website, to be honest, a website is just something pretty that you have up there, right? It's just something pretty introductory. It's nice to have a website because, again, it's part of your storytelling. And if you're not telling your story, someone else is telling it for you. However, a sales funnel is a tool that helps convert people into directly selling whatever product or service that you have. Right. So when I think about what makes a successful sales funnel, the first thing is your copy. The copy is very important in your sales funnel. And Alexa and I, we've tested a couple of funnels. We've worked on a couple of funnels together. We know one of the things we do in our sales funnels is we keep testing, right? We keep changing up the copy. So the first and most important thing is your copy. And there are about 5 touch points you should be hitting with your copy. So the first thing is who that product or service is for. You have to be calling out your target audience in your copy. You have to have a strong headline, right, in your copy as well. You have to explicitly explain to people what they're going to be getting out of your funnel. And you have to have a strong call to action. Those are the first 4 things, right, with a sales funnel. And then another important element of a sales funnel is, in my opinion, what are you giving people away without them having to exchange to give you their money immediately? Right? Because you need to build trust with people. So what are you giving them, or what can you give them, or what incentive can you give them to either buy or schedule a call with you or whatever without immediately asking them for their cash, right? And I'll use Russell Brunson as an example. I always bring him up as an example, right? So I was just looking at his one of his sales funnels for .com Secrets, the book. And in Russell Brunson's sales funnels, his book is literally like $10, right? It's just like, hey, just pay for shipping, right? We'll send over the book, right? And then on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and those other websites, it's a lot more expensive. So already there's an incentive there. There's something free and there's something of value. And as you buy that product, as you send over the pay for the shipping and all that stuff, he's bringing you into his funnel, and he will continue to nurture you to sell other products to you. So I think I said a bit more. I answered more than your question, more than what you asked. But yeah, I get very passionate.
It was great. And I think that the biggest thing that you said that's so important is modification, hence our philosophy, marketing by modification. It's literally what we hinge our entire company on is the truth is, it doesn't matter if there's a funnel that worked for somebody else. There's so many elements. You mentioned copy, you mentioned data, the audience that's being funneled, the emails, the sales folks on the call. Like, you can't just copy somebody else's funnel and automatically think it's going to work. That's not how it works. And so one of the things that we find is really important is, yes, there are formulas that work, but there's so many different elements. You've got to test it all. So we're like literally every day in Slack, we're like, all right, change the headline to this, change this word, change this color, A/B test. And literally, like, if you're funneling traffic, good traffic to a site, you could, in a funnel, you could pretty quickly understand if it is or isn't working. And then what we do, it's like, we just launched a new webinar of how we made $1 million in less than 90 days. And, the funnel worked okay. Like, we got really good traction. I think we had 1.2 million impressions. Like, we did pretty well, but the conversion was not where we wanted to be. And we weren't upset. We said, okay, we're going to learn and do better the next one, right? We still had hundreds of people sign up and attend, but we want thousands, right? But we're going to get there. This was literally the first time we hosted this funnel. And so now we learn and we graduate and tweak until it works, because there is a formula. You just have to figure out what it is.
Exactly. And a lot of our conversation yesterday centered around, okay, what didn't work? We brought our team together, the people on the ad side, people on the copy side. Okay, what didn't work? What can we improve on next time, right? And speaking of modification, I think it's also important to note that I don't think, and I don't know if you agree with this, Alexa, but I personally don't think everyone has the skill and the know-how to be able to critically analyze your sales funnels and figure out what's working and what's not. I don't think it's a skill that's available to everyone, but that's one thing that we're very good at. That's one thing people like us marketers are really, really good at, is taking that data, taking it apart, figuring what worked, what didn't work, and improving upon it for the next time.
I wasn't always good at it either, though. It took time and practice, and it's actually stuff that I learned in my 5 degrees. I've 2 technical degrees, an MBA and a PhD. And it was really until my PhD that I learned how to do research and data analysis. And I mean, that was a 5-year program, right? And so not everybody's good at it. And it's why sometimes in business, and especially when we come to sales funnels, look, I've always learned, and you've heard me tell the story about how at 12 years old, my father, he was an executive IBM, reported directly to the president, managed all the manufacturing plants worldwide, like powerhouse. And at 12, he brought me to a manufacturing plant in Fishkill, New York. And we're walking around. My dad knows everybody's name. Like, he was a VP, knows everybody's name, knew not only their name, but like, hey, Charlie, how's little Johnny doing? Like, I'm like, okay. And then we're walking through and he's literally telling me each part of the machinery in the manufacturing plant. So I remember, like I said to him, I'm like, Dad, why do you know, you're a VP, why do you know this? And this is literally why I am where I am today. He said, Alexa, if you really want to be, and at the time I was 12, so maybe I didn't know I was going to be an entrepreneur, but he said, if you really want to be an executive or a CEO, you better know every part of your business. And that's rang in my head for my entire life. And so as an entrepreneur, you have to know how to build a sales funnel. You have to understand what it entails and the important pieces of it. But it doesn't mean that you actually have to be the one to do it. My dad's not sitting there working the machinery, but he knows how it works. So when something breaks or when something's not working, you could be part of the solution or part of figuring out that solution. And that's so important to your point. Like, not everybody has the skill. So go hire somebody that does so you could do it right.
Absolutely. And that's so good what your dad said. That's so good, because I found that even as an entrepreneur myself, my knowledge of literally every single step of the marketing process, funnels, design, like we have people who do all that stuff for us. But I know, so if push comes to shove, I could roll my sleeve up. Like I tell some of our clients sometimes, like, yeah, I rolled up my sleeves and I designed this for you, right? Or I built this website or this funnel. So yeah, no, that's a very good point. And I know it's not the main topic of this podcast. However, it's something important for all entrepreneurs out there to understand.
Yeah. And the most important thing about campaigns in general, not even just sales funnels, it's like, guys, it's not going to work. Like I guarantee you the first 5 times you put a campaign out, it's not going to work. The ones that end up making a 2-comma ClickFunnels award and winning are the ones that tweak it and change it constantly until it works. And so when something doesn't work the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, you have to be resilient. You have to keep going. And the truth is it's even like with sales, people give up after, 80% of salespeople give up between 3 to 5 times, but yet it takes 5 times for somebody to actually listen and actually move forward with something. So it takes a lot of phone calls and engagement. And the same goes with funnels. Like you have to figure out what works. And like, we didn't even talk about, ads and social and trust and your website and your authority. When people Google you, what do they find? There's so many elements to it. And you just have to be persistent to keep going and tweaking and changing and continually improve your whole campaign.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, I have a short story. So I have this funnel I was running for a while, and it's amazing how the littlest changes can make all the difference in like your funnels and your sales funnels and all that stuff, right? And I had it running for a while, and it was, my ads were converting, but the funnel itself wasn't converting. And I remember just making a change to the headline, and down the line in total, that funnel ended up bringing me like 600% of profits. That's how it's usually the littlest things, the smallest things, right? You have to change in the funnel to make all the difference, Yeah,
I mean, look at the most recent campaign that we ran. We were like, all right, our conversion rates, like not where we want to be. And we did an A/B test of a different headline and it doubled our conversion, literally doubled our conversion. Like all it took was a different headline. Right. So sometimes it just takes those little tweaks and you just got to keep going. You've got to look at data. If you're sending out emails and they're not working, send the same email, change the subject line, send the same email and change the call to action. Right. Like you just got to keep going. So, sales funnels is an important piece of running a business. There's a huge difference, as you mentioned, of building a website, which is more informational, and building a sales funnel. Sales funnel is for action. It's to drive people to do an action. There's very few businesses that I can think of that don't need a sales funnel. And so it is something important that you need as a business owner to learn. And, it's part of the day-to-day life now, of being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Like I personally don't think there's any business out there that couldn't possibly maybe benefit from a sales funnel. So I feel like there are always angles. There's always a way to create a sales funnel for whatever it is, product, service you do. There's always a way to create a sales funnel for it. And it will help increase your conversions and your lead generation for sure.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you, Cynthia, for coming and talking today about how to build a sales funnel that actually works. I'm sure that the listeners love this. And Cynthia's, as part of our business partner group and part of Think Fuel and Thynktank, she's just a powerhouse. Still is, I'm still in awe of the fact that she's like famous in Africa, but I'll get over that eventually. Just Google her name and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think I drive her crazy because I mentioned it like every time we're on a Zoom, but she's incredible and has been it's so much fun to work with. And guys, the key in life here in building a business is if you're going to build a partnership, build it with people you're going to have fun with, because life is too short to have partners that are not fun. And we have a hell lot of fun. So thank you. And can't wait to have us back. We will be talking about sales funnels again in a couple weeks. So make sure to subscribe to our podcast. And if you want more and you want access to all of our podcasts, you can go to our website at thynktankcoaching.com. Think is with a Y, THYNK. And if you're interested in having us help you build your sales funnel, you're welcome to email us at support@thinkfuelcoaching.com. Again, think is with a Y. So thank you, Cynthia, and we will be in touch soon. Well, I'm going to put you